Have you ever seen an animal with such deadly mouth? Or terrifying teeth like these? Teeth are already weird as it is. Think about it. They're the only part of your skeleton which is exposed. What's weirder is that some animals have way too many of them, like the great white shark. Then there are some that have fake teeth and look like a made-up creature themselves too. Yes, we're talking about the Promachoteuthis sulcus squid lamprey. The lamprey just proved to us that you need a jaw to be devilishly terrifying. These creatures don't have a jaw at all, or even a skull, but they do have a mouth. Correct, they have a thorny, suction cup-like mouth that the fish uses like a funnel. Since this species is a parasitic fish, it sucks on its host body and starts sucking out the blood with its teeth. They're so determined to suck the life out of their host that their victim rarely ever survives. There even have been some cases of this fish attacking athletes. Luckily, that's not a common occurrence. Scientists find them more fascinating since they're one of the first backbone creatures to ever evolve. Say hello to your ancestors.
You see that? Can you get it? Yeah. That thing is sucking right on the...
Goblin shark. At first glance, there's no doubt that the goblin shark looks like a distant relative of the blobfish because of how ugly it is. What's worse is on the inside of its mouth, it has tiny, sharp, ale-like teeth and a snout that looks like a sword. To make matters worse, you should know that it has jaws that can protrude forward. This means they can literally detach their jaw and fling it forward to catch their prey. This makes their feeding method highly efficient too. Their slingshot feeding technique is done at 10 feet per second, the fastest movement for this kind of fish. Yikes! Better stay 20 feet away from this beast. Mandrill. If you put on some clown makeup on a monkey, you would get a mandrill. That's not the only noticeable thing about them. How could we miss their 2 inches long teeth? Luckily, their teeth are just for show, and they rarely ever use them against people. These omnivores put their teeth on display as a sort of friendly gesture, much like smiling. Leatherback sea turtle. Who would have thought these tiny little crawlers could end up on this list? Whatever you do, don't look at it when it's yawning. Why? Well, that's because it has spikes from its mouth all the way to its gut. These spikes are called papillae, and the reason these things exist because turtles have a special taste for jellyfish and any other soft-boiled invertebrates with no bones. Because of that, they don't need hard teeth, so the rubber-like protrusions work just fine. Considering that jellyfish have almost 0 calories, these turtles need to eat about 73% of their body weight every day. Maybe these rubber spikes aren't that bad then. Hippo. Hippos have big mouths, we know that, but their specialty doesn't lie with what sort of teeth they hide inside. In fact, it's about the sheer power of their bite. These animals can open their mouth a full 180 degrees when they yawn, so just imagine what they use it for. Usually they use their yawns to intimidate others. Well, that's almost always successful. With just one bite, they can exert an 1,800-pound force per square inch, making it one of the strongest bites in the animal kingdom. But we have some good news for you. Hippos are herbivores, so they won't come running to bite you.
Hi, あげます。
Camel. Camels have a reputation to maintain, since they're the kings of the desert. And even though we only know them from their drinking habits, let's talk more about their feeding habits. First of all, camels spit when they're threatened, which is downright disrespectful. That's not all. When they're in danger, their teeth are strong enough to crush wood. If that wasn't enough, they have tiny papillae covering their whole mouth. Pretty gross, but not grosser than their old man teeth. Ew! Goose. Without even having to open their mouth, geese can scare humans. It's not like their honking noises is any inviting. And much like all birds, they don't have teeth. They have tomia, which are made of cartilage and grow on the tongue and beak. Even though these little beasts don't attack humans, their bites are very painful. What's worse is their punch, which is strong enough to break your nose. Gharial. Crocs and alligators are scary enough, but one weird hybrid of them is the gharial, which is much scarier than you realize. Although its long snout looks sort of funny, it's not as funny when you realize it has about 106 to 110 interlocking razor-sharp teeth. This helps them catch any fish that might slip away. Even though they have a highly specialized snout, it doesn't mean they don't bite humans. Sometimes they've even been seen feeding on corpses nearby. Who's to say where they got the corpses from? Tiger. If you've ever seen a tiger, or even just a picture of it, you're probably very well aware of its apex predator features. One of them is their mouth, more specifically their mouth. These tigers have needle-like barbs on their tongue that they use to strip fur, feathers, and meat from their prey. If you have a cat, you might have noticed the same barbs but smaller on your pets. The truth is, this feature of nature has been so successful that even humans made grooming products inspired by it. Pacu fish. What would you expect a piranha's relative to look like? You at least expect their long, sharp teeth, right? Well, the pacu fish is here to disappoint you utterly. However, don't look away just yet. This South American looks like it stole teeth from us. Much like humans, the pacu fish are omnivores, even though much of their diet is herbivorous. The main use of their teeth is to crack shells when fruits and nuts fall into the water, so nothing gory. These fish aren't really aggressive, and people actually keep them as pets. Vampire fish. The name vampire fish paints a picture without even needing to explain anything. The piara, or the vampire fish, is usually found in the Amazon. What a shocker! But what's hardcore about them is that their diet consists of piranhas, the flesh-eating fish no one goes near. So this ball of teeth crunches on another ball of teeth. However, these have fang-like teeth that can grow up to 6 inches. But they don't stick, as they already have a holster built in the front of their face to keep them safe and protected. Luckily, they don't go after anything too big than themselves, so that we might be safe for now. Black mamba. Most animals have sharp teeth, and that's about it, nothing more to it. However, the black mambas have a particularly goth oral cavity. First off, their mouths are jet black, even their teeth, but their teeth are more like hollow fangs that are full of venom. Just one bite and their teeth can shoot venom into your system, killing you in a few minutes. This venom actually shuts down the person's nervous system and even paralyzes them too. If you see a black tongue, just take a U-turn from there. Great white shark. There's a reason why there are numerous movies about shark attacks, and that reason is their 300 teeth. They have about 300 serrated triangular teeth in several rows, and they have a great sense of smell. Sometimes a shark can have up to 3,000 teeth. The front teeth are usually the biggest and are used for biting, while the other sets can be smaller and less sharp. In a whole lifetime, a shark can grow up to 20,000 teeth. And here we are, stuck with 36 teeth that you can't replace. Not fair. Sea urchin. What do you think would be the condition of our teeth if we ate rocks? Well, for one, we wouldn't have any enamel at all. But sea urchins that eat nothing but rocks, actually, the algae that grows on the rocks. They scrape down any green stuff they can find, and this scraping can cause their teeth to wear down. But their teeth are set in a structure called Aristotle's lantern, which self-sharpens and can easily regrow, so eating a rock or two isn't too bad for them. Basking shark. Out of the biggest mouths, this shark wins the game. Its huge mouth consists of numerous gill rakes that it uses for filter feeding. Its mouth actually extends past its small eyes. As for the teeth, it has hundreds of small hooked teeth all over its mouth. No matter how big their mouths are, they still can't eat humans, so the only shark we should be afraid of is the great white shark. Sarcastic fringe head. You've seen an umbrella, right? Well, put some teeth on it, and you get the sarcastic fringe head. This fish doesn't have terribly sharp teeth or anything, but they do have gaping, fluorescent teeth that can open up like a huge umbrella. These jaws fan out when they open their mouths fully, and they mostly do that to intimidate other fish, since they're very territorial about their burrows and holes. Pelicans. Pelicans have unusually long and large beaks, but what's inside is a whole other story. First of all, at the end of their beak's tip, they have a little hook, and inside they don't have good teeth. They're just tiny little spikes that aren't even sharp, but feel like more of an exfoliating brush. So in the end, it's their beak that you should be scared of. Their lower beak is quite stretchy and translucent, so it'll line up if you shine some light through it. Common fangtooth. It's unfortunate that fish can't get braces, because this one can't even close its mouth because of how big they are. The common fangtooth fish has the biggest teeth proportionate to its body size in the whole underwater kingdom. That's not all, they're insanely sharp. Long and pointed just enough to catch prey of any size. This small fish's teeth can grow up to be 6 inches, making it possible for this small fish to make other bigger fish pee their pants. Hagfish. The hagfish is one of the weirdest creatures out there. How many other fish do we know that use slime as a self-defense mechanism? Maybe a few DIY YouTubers, but they're not fish. Scientists refer to the hagfish's face as 2 pairs of tooth-like rasps on the top of a tongue-like projection. And if that didn't remind you of the creature from Alien, the following fact will. The hagfish doesn't even eat a mouth. It literally just absorbs nutrition from its skin, thanks to its numerous pores. It's not like the hagfish even eats a 5-course meal. It just likes to munch on dead stuff. Anything decaying it finds, it gobbles up. The teeth are just there for the horror factor. Penguins. We've all seen happy feet and adored their cute little smiles. But what you didn't know was that happy feet were not fully accurate when it came to the penguin anatomy, especially their mouths. When you open their beaks, there's nothing but a red carpet of teeth. Teeth on their cheeks, tongue, and down to their gut. You want to know why? Well, it's because penguins swallow their food completely alive and wriggling, so they need to keep them alive, fish down to maximize their pain, and fuel our nightmares too at the same time. Their spiny mouths actually help them keep their food down. Cookie cutter shark. Let's be honest, we've had enough of sharks. We've all seen Jaws enough times. But those movies only show you the great white sharks, not tiny cookie-cutter sharks. These creatures, which are barely 2 feet long, show up in deep waters only at night. They might be tiny, but their teeth size is the biggest, as compared to other sharks' size, and their teeth size. As the name suggests, they have cookie-cutter edge teeth, with ragged edges that can rip circular chunks out of whatever they can meet. Moreover, they even attack in a sort of hit-and-run way, so they're like the Flash but with a lot of teeth. The crab-eater seal. You've seen ragged teeth, tiny needle-like teeth, little papillae, and so much more. But we're going to show you something that looks like it's from a mythical story. Here is the crab-eater seal and their wacky Van Gogh teeth. You might not get a chance to see these teeth up close, unless you're a vet in Antarctica. The most eye-catching quality about their pearly whites is that they have extra spines stemming from their original teeth, like little gears. You can imagine what sort of shape their bites would leave, but you don't need to worry about that since they only eat krill. They get a big gulp of water and then let the gaps in their teeth filter out the krill from the water. Yum! Cold backwash krill soup, anyone? Horse. You might have seen horses laughing out loud and showing their teeth. Well, those are mostly memes. Pay attention to what you're doing around horses to reduce the risk of being bitten. Do not encourage playful behaviors that could lead to bites, because they're known to even bite animals they perceive as danger. The adult horse has up to 44 permanent teeth, because evolution has designed the horse's skull to accommodate greater quantities of high-fibrous forage foods. The Promocateuthis sulcus squid. We swear we're not just making up stuff at this point, no matter how fake these creatures look. What can we say? Mother Nature went on a little bit of a spiral. This specimen, called the Promocateuthis sulcus squid, or the squid with teeth, is just 1 inch long, but that doesn't mean it won't creep the pants off of you. Its mouth is at the bottom of its body, and they look like they have human teeth in a circular mouth. Well, none of that is true. Those aren't even teeth. They're just folded lips with their upper and lower portions visible. What's weirder is that it has a small razor-sharp beak at the deep end of its mouth to chew down its food. Jaguar. Lions may be the kings of the jungle, but jaguars are the ultimate kings when it comes to having the strongest bite force among wild cats. Unlike other wild cats, they don't usually go for the throats of their prey. Instead, they go for the head. This is because their mouths are made up of powerful jaws and teeth that are strong enough to puncture the skull of their prey, crack open the shells of turtles, and even the thick skin of animals like caimans. Woodpecker. A woodpecker's mouth may not be terrifying in the eyes of a human being, but we can tell for a fact that it is every bug's worst nightmare. They may be toothless, but their tongue makes up for it. A woodpecker's tongue resembles a gapping hook. But that's not all. The tongue is way too long for such a small bird. In fact, it's up to 3 times the length of its beak. It's so long that once the woodpecker shuts its mouth, the tongue is wrapped around the skull, behind the eyeball, and back into the nostrils. Yes, it's that long. But it's not the length of the tongue that makes it deadly. It's the tip of the tongue. The tip of the tongue is sharp and closely resembles a spearhead. This helps the woodpecker to stab bugs and pin them in trees, with no chance of escape. Spotted hyena. There must be a reason as to why hyenas make one of the best cleanup crews in the savannah. And no, it's not because of the misconception that they lack good hunting skills. Actually, when a spotted hyena hunts down its prey, it's no longer a laughing matter. No pun intended. A hyena mouth is capable of instantly puncturing soft tissues and internal organs. Spotted hyenas are equipped with strong jaws and teeth that can easily shred meat and crush bones. Unlike you and I, the spotted hyena doesn't need to boil bones for hours to get to the bone marrow. One bite is enough. Brazilian wandering spider. It's not always the size of the teeth or the strength of the jaw that make an animal's mouth deadly. Sometimes it's just because the animal's mouth contains venom.